Forget everything you've been told about fixing laziness. The wake up earlier advice, the discipline mantras, the just push through it mentality, none of it is going to help you here, and I want to show you why. There's a specific reason ambitious people end up stuck feeling lazy, and it has nothing to do with willpower. It's a mismatch that the samurai figured out and solved centuries ago. And once you understand the fix, you'll see exactly why everything you've tried before was working against you instead of for you. I'm going to walk you through this as a clear method, step by step, so you can actually apply it starting today. So let's get into it. Step 1. Understand why your ambition is working against you. The biggest thing holding ambitious people back isn't a lack of talent. It's a pattern they don't even notice. You want something big, so you set a plan that matches the size of the ambition. New routine, complete overhaul, everything starting Monday. It runs for about a week and a half on pure motivation, then collapses all at once, and you're left with more evidence for the story that you're just not disciplined enough. The samurai avoided this trap through a principle called Kaizen. Kai meaning change, Zen meaning good. It means continuous marginal improvement instead of dramatic transformation. Not twice as good tomorrow, slightly better, every day, indefinitely. The size of your daily action has to match what you can actually sustain. When the goal is enormous and the daily action matches that size, the action breaks the first time life gets in the way. A small action repeated without fail beats a large action attempted 3 times. Step 2. Understand what 1% actually produces. James Clear laid out the math in Atomic Habits, and I really want you to understand this because it's genuinely counterintuitive. Improve by 1% a day, compounded daily, and after a year, you're roughly 37 times better than where you started. That gap is almost impossible to picture from where you're standing today, and that's exactly why the mind resists small daily improvement. It doesn't feel proportional to the ambition. This is the actual trap keeping ambitious people stuck. The ambition makes small daily action feel insulting. You want something big, so the action has to feel big too, or it doesn't seem worth doing. And so you either do the oversized version until it breaks, or you do nothing while waiting to feel ready for it. The samurai student never got to skip to the impressive techniques because they were ambitious. They practiced the same basic cut, the same footwork for years. From the outside, every training session looked almost identical, too small to make a difference. But they understood that no single session was supposed to change everything. The real power came from never breaking the chain. Step 3. Measure against yesterday, not against the big vision. Miyamoto Musashi, the most accomplished swordsman Japan ever produced, wrote a line in the Book of Five Rings that reframes this entire problem in one sentence. Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. And this is not victory over some distant standard of greatness. Victory over yesterday's version of you, specifically, and nothing beyond that. This sounds too modest to matter, and that's exactly the point. The question stops being, how do I become the version of myself I picture in my head, and become something much smaller and much more answerable? Did I do something today that yesterday's version of me didn't do? That question has a yes or no answer available every single day, regardless of motivation or circumstance. The reason ambitious people struggle with laziness more than anyone else is that they keep measuring today against a huge, distant vision instead of against yesterday. Measured against the vision, nothing you do today looks like enough. Measured against yesterday, 10-minute session is a genuine win. Step 4, take full ownership of today's version of the work. When Kaizen moved from martial philosophy into Japanese manufacturing in the 20th century, one detail carried over that matters enormously here. It wasn't a system imposed from above where only leadership improved things. Every person, no matter how small their role, was responsible for making their own piece slightly better today with whatever they currently had. Nobody waited for ideal conditions. Translated to you individually, this means the responsibility for today's 1% improvement sits entirely with you, regardless of what else is happening. You don't need to wait for more time, more energy, or a cleaner schedule. The truth is, you get better by working with whatever today looks like. It doesn't have to be perfect because tomorrow won't be perfect either. It'll just come with a different set of problems. Step 5, expect the small thing to feel unsatisfying and do it anyway. This part deserves honesty. 10 minutes of practice when you want to be building an empire feels almost embarrassingly small. This feeling is normal, and it is not a signal that the method is failing. It's just the emotional experience of doing something that compounds slowly in a mind that wants results immediately. The samurai student sharpening the same basic technique for the 1000th time almost certainly felt the same restlessness you feel doing your version of the small daily thing. The difference between the one who eventually became exceptional and the one who quit wasn't that the exceptional one stopped feeling restless. It's that they kept doing the small thing anyway, on the pointless feeling days as much as the purposeful ones, because they understood the feeling of the moment and the value of the action were two separate things that didn't need to match. If you're ambitious and you've been calling yourself lazy, I push back on that word. What's actually been happening is probably this. You keep setting a standard so large it can't survive an ordinary day, and then treating the collapse as proof of a character flaw instead of proof that the standard was wrong for how humans actually sustain effort. The fix was never more willpower. It's a smaller, honest, repeatable action. Done today, then done again tomorrow, regardless of how today went. Pick the one small thing today's version of you can actually do. Do it. That's the whole method. That's it for today. If this shifted how you think about the gap between wanting something and actually doing it, tell me what your one small thing is starting today? I'd genuinely like to know. See you in the next one.